Hey, welcome to the first episode of Backlog, which is going to be, I don't know, hopefully an ongoing series where I go through my backlog of anime. Because for those that don't know, I have a huge backlog of BS that I just have been meaning to watch. Either things that are on my, things I should really be watching list, or just things that are, just things that I freaking bought. I have a collection of shit that I just have purchased and have not watched. And recently, I have found myself incapable of working. Very specifically, if you don't follow me on social media, I had some surgery. Nothing super serious. Had my gallbladder removed, which sounds kind of bad because that's a fucking organ that just got taken out of my body. It's okay. I'm pretty much recovered now. Everything's good in the hood. But I ended up with a lot of free time on my hands, and I decided to use that free time trying to get caught up on some of my massive ass backlog of anime. So I figured, if I'm going to be watching all this anime, I'm making some goddamn content out of this. So the first thing that I ended up seeing while I was out of commission was Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This is a series that I have been really wanting to see. It's been really close to the top of my things I really want to watch from modern anime that I just completely missed out on. And I definitely wasn't disappointed. I had a great time watching this series. It is fun, it is charming, it's very funny, it's got a lot of heart and warmth to it. For those who aren't familiar with the series at all and know nothing about it, the long version short is the title character, Miss Kobayashi. She is kind of this heavy drinking, office working woman, and one day after a night of drinking, she meets a dragon that has a sword in it, and she's just like, I'm gonna pull this sword out of you. Also, let's just talk about shit. And they talk and they have a great time, and the dragon, Toru, decides, I am now going to dedicate my life to this person. So she does that. So she shows up to her house. I'm going to be a maid. I'm going to be your personal maid. And then just basically hijinks ensue. Hijinks and lesbian sexual tension ensue. And for those wondering, yes, I watched it subbed. I heard about all of, the people complaining about the dub and how terrible the dub is. Honestly, during some of the things that I thought would be the most questionable parts of the dialogue, I would go and check the dub, and the dub sounded fine. They weren't really skirting around yeah, no, Toru's horny for Miss Kobayashi, I got it. It's really weird. I'm when I looked it up, I only came across two examples of people getting their panties in a bunch over the dub, which was one scene where Kobayashi she's kind of ambiguous about her sexuality. She says a statement that can be taken ambiguously, and the dub just says, I'm straight. And people were like, oh, this is gay erasure. And I'm like, I mean, Toru's gay AF. And even if Kobayashi says that she's straight, if it's for a comedic punchline, I don't know. That's one example, and then the other thing is people getting pissed off because they made a patriarchy joke, and it seemed like people got their panties in a bunch because, they're making political statements. And I'm like, shut up. If that's the two fucking things that you can complain about over a course of 2 lines of dialogue are the things that you're harping on, I don't know. Maybe the rest of the dub is gets egregiously worse later, but Agro and I kept switching and checking every thought because I was I need to see how they handled that scene. I need to see, and it would be verbatim every damn time. So honestly, part of me kind of wishes I did watch it in English because I find subtitles to be a little exhausting and tedious after a while. Especially I watched all of this in one fucking sitting. So watching 13 episodes or 12 episodes of a show and then an OVA, that could get really mentally exhausting to just be reading and 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 reading, especially if you're dyslexic like I am. Like, I can read, I'm not literate, but it is hard to keep up. It's a pain in the ass and makes the viewing experience less enjoyable. So I feel like I gave myself a less enjoyable experience because people got themselves in a tizzy over like 2 dialogue changes, like one of which I can see the merits in, the other one just seems like people are just getting pissed off at a joke. But enough about the dub that I did not watch. Like I said, I watched this subbed, had a great time. Honestly, like, if my biggest complaint about this show does not come from the show itself, it comes from like the people who kind of hyped the show up, or like just like when it broke into the mainstream. And really, it's more of a, this is more of like a fuck the Sakuga community type thing, because the things that I would always see are people like, oh man, this really awesome animated sequence, because you know it's Kyoto Animation, it's going to look stellar regardless. And like those scenes of like lollies and like big titted girls like shooting lasers and doing cool dragon shit is so few and far between. But because like it kept getting pushed, like every time I'd see people talking about Dragon Maid, it kind of gave me the wrong impression of the show. Like from other people, like, you know, I've watched like Digibro's video on the series, and I've talked to other people about it. So I already knew like the series was going to be very character focused. It was going to be more of a slice of life series. But I was always under the impression that also like these episodes were going to have moments that were going to be punctuated by like some dragon conflict thing happens, and there's gonna be like a dope ass fight for reasons. And honestly, like those are kind of like it like I said, it gave me like a different perspective of the series. Honestly, like I don't mind those things not being there. Like I don't need big dragon action sequences in my slice of life show. It's fine. But like I said, like the fucking Sakuga community and all those people who hype up like the animated like elements of anime is like, it gets tedious and boring, and I fucking hate those people. It's just like, oh my god, look at the stunningly animated sequence. It's like, yeah, but the Broly movie wasn't that good, so I don't really give a shit. Sorry, I know I said I wouldn't be talking about Dragon Ball anymore, but I just need to take that one fucking cheap shot and at that movie and at the fucking community that jerks it off. But beyond that, like, Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid, it is not very action-oriented whatsoever. It is still, at its core, a slice-of-life series. It's all about, like, social situations and hijinks, and just every couple of episodes, just very cute, emotionally driven human moments that I really liked. Like, the fact that Toru has to deal with the fact that Kobayashi is going to die long before her, what that means for her, how she plans on dealing with that in the long term, and the fact that she's just like, well, yeah, no, I'm just going to enjoy the time that I have with her now, or, just, a lot of things with, like, Kobayashi, or, the little, oh, fuck, the little dragon lolly, man, people are gonna give me shit for this. I forgot her name. You know who I mean. The dragon lolly, like showing up and like watching Kobayashi work, or like when Kobayashi is like working double time at her job just so she can be off, so she can show up for like a school function thing for Dragon Lolly, because it would really mean a lot to her if she showed up. So yeah, like there's a lot of genuinely cute human emotional moments in this show that really elevate the whole thing. Like, if it were just cute, funny hijinks, it would be like 7 out of 10 and 8 out of 10. It would kind of fall into that same kind of category that I put like Azumangadayo or Lucky Star, like probably like a good solid 8 out of 10. And I feel all of the really just like heartwarming emotional moments is what really elevates the whole show and gives it like that good solid 9 out of 10. that I think the show is. And yeah, no, like, Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid is something that I slept on for a very long time. I wish I hadn't have slept on it for so long. It being a slice of life, I unfortunately don't have that much to say about it. I don't want to get too much into spoilers and details and stuff, because I do want people to watch this show. I thought it was a very good show, and I think it's one that other people need to experience firsthand. So yeah, like, if you haven't seen Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, do it. I think it's still on Crunchyroll. It was on Crunchyroll for a good long while. I know that much. But yeah, no, like, check it out. It's a very, very good series. It definitely lives up to all of the praise that I'd ever seen it get. I was not disappointed. Like, I swear to God, no, like, if you're like some shonen bro, and like, you don't do slice of life, please don't fucking comment with some dumb shit of like, oh, I thought this show was boring. Well, fuck you. I think your shonen of the week is boring. Ugh. Anyhow, Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maid, if you like cute shit, if you like heartwarming shit, if you like big titty dragon girls, or little dragon lollies, if that's your fucking swing, whatever, it's got you. It's got you covered. Kobayashi Dragon Maid, really good. Go watch it. Okay, so I forgot to mention this in the original recording, but something I wanted to bring up was, it's a real goddamn tragedy that the director of this series died. You know, for those that aren't aware, Kyoto Animation had a horrible fire because some subhuman just decided to burn it down, one of their studios. And yeah, like, so the director of Dragon Maid was one of the casualties. There were several casualties in this situation. And like, they were already like currently in the production of season 2 of Dragon Maid. So it's really shitty that we're no longer ever going to get that version of Dragon Maid ever again. Like, whatever like the sequel to Dragon Maid was going to be, we're never gonna get that. Like, you know, that stuff's probably all lost, unless they're able to like save some of it. And so yeah, no, it's that's an extra thing that super fucking sucks. And you know, like even if they do make a season 2, like, one of the things I've heard about Dragon Maid as an anime is that it takes a lot of liberties from the manga. So, you know, some of the things that like probably made that anime like really special was probably that director's touch. And yeah, it's just, you know, whatever we get now probably won't be like the original vision of Dragon Maid season 2. And yeah, no, like, as I've said before, you know, it's a tragic loss of life, and you know, it's a tragic loss of art. Thanks, asshole who burned down Kyoto Animation.